Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Reborn with
me, Tiber. We're here in the 7th Astral Era, talking to Alvanod after we just kicked a traitor's nasty hiney.
We just gave her a little bit of kicking.
Well,
anyway,
really
Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we will take our findings directly to General Reborn. And that should be an end of it.
No, it won't.
Your work here is done, my friends. My thanks. But I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Thrones and apprise Minfilia of what's happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Roahal in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how the tale ends.
Bye. Jerk.
Oh, well, I see you later, okay? Yeah,
Ka-chow!
Oh, okay.
Sparkle? Huh? Sparkle?
Sparkle Fairy, activate!
No. Not unless you're a hero.
Sparkle Fairy, activate!
Oh my god, someone's gonna turn that into a ringtone now.
Oh, please do. That'd be hilarious to me.
If they do, you have to use it.
Sorta, I will if that ever actually becomes famous enough to become a ringtone.
Hi, Tartar. I see you're still standing on your chair instead of doing actual work.
Did you say Tiber?
Tartaru.
Oh, okay. Tartaru. I've only just now spawned. Woo.
Really? I'm already whatever. Hey, Minfilia! Look at my sword! Isn't it amazing? Look how big and hard and glowy it is.
Give it a lick.
I don't think it'll taste like raisins, and you'll probably cut and or burn your tongue off.
No, it'll taste like ethereal current instead.
It's so shiny.
Ethereal currents.
Oh, hey, it's split.
Oh, you've already got broken weapon. Good job.
Oh, no,
Anyway, talking to her now.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back, my friend.
Who was voiced?
I have already received word from Alfino.
Alfino? I thought his name was Alphanod.
It was.
Why did you say Alfino?
To
I have
think
no
that
idea.
Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean...
Ryu?
I know not what to say.
I don't know.
Together with Reborn,
I don't think this has been Minfilia.
Eileen lent us much needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat.
She's been brainwashed.
When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians.
Wait, why
We
did you
shall begin as
deconstruct
soon
the
as
people?
everyone is assembled.
Keep them constructed! Assemble. Hardy hard.
I'd like to think that
My
took like
thanks
3
for
days.
coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
She's
Not really.
Moonbraider.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with
Is there a
White
nice braider?
Orosite, the miraculous material that will allow us to capture Ascian
okay.
souls.
Oh, so that's what White Hoursight is. When did you find this? Why is this just suddenly that?
She-
Whatever.
Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to Orosite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an
Was
infinite
expecting
wellspring
Roth
of
for a
power.
second there.
Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis
Okay,
our
sure.
belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, We're
I was
basically...
about to say, at least as strong as the,
Our
like,
sole
mech
clue
thing.
lieth in thy struggle with La Hebrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether.
No.
Admittedly,
Yeah.
your victory proved ephemeral, as La Hebrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void.
For a short time.
The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Asians
So
in
so
your
she's being
hands.
silent.
Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
Wipe out a species, that should be enough.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white orosite? One to trap the Asian, and the other to store the ether for
What
the
if you
blade?
bounce it between two?
Oh, nice try. But it's as I
You know?
said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still
Just
need
bounce
to
it
collect
between
the
two
stuff
white
there and
arrowsites.
then, sorry to say.
Or 3.
It's just an idea.
And therein lies the rub.
No, you
Finding
don't
a
only
way
need
to
to do
create
them
the
because you're
blade
going to try and
whenever
destroy the
wherever we
Asian when
choose.
it's in the other crystal, so
It would
just
seem
bounce it
more
between the
research
two
is in
crystals of
order.
white etherite.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a
Orosite,
few
you
more
mean?
tests on the orosite.
You know what I mean?
I remember Orosite, if I remember correctly, was a big thing in
And I
Final
could do
Fantasies
with some
12
help.
and Tactics.
Orianger, why don't you lend me a
No
hand?
idea.
It had to do with summoning and things.
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands.
Are you afraid of her?
Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Wait, where?
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone
Oh
there,
my.
then?
She'll just
Well,
have to come to him.
That settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
Oh no. Oh dear. Everyone's very gestural. And I'm just like, what?
Please, unhand me!
While you were afield, word arrived from the Charlian motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least.
Yeah, the island was gone.
According to the report, the isle
I
has
know
been
the island
erased
was
from
gone, but still.
existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Cloaking device.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression.
damned
or
if
the
that's a
rejoining, as the
coincidence.
ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Asian involvement. But I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God.
Darn violent militarist Christians.
We must pray that my dear friend Kryle regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
She might, but she probably won't. Thanks for the 5K. Cutscene. At least we don't have to go to Ul'dah.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th
Oh, don't worry, we'll
Imperial
teleport
Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea.
Clearly.
So swiftly did they accomplish this. It was suspected that they
Why
had
you?
received
Seriously,
help.
what?
To
It's
think that
nowhere
it
near
came
what that
from
says.
Huayu,
Whatever.
my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answers
There's
to a
taking
higher
liberties
authority
in spelling, and
Garlemald.
then there's just pretending that one word means...
But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire.
I'm afraid of
He would
primal
happily
influence
have
spreading.
seen
Let's
the lot
release the most
reduced
powerful
to
primal.
ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a...
Why?
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Delamut from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face
That
of the
angers
realm
me.
forever. Yet Eorzea
Coming from
survived.
someone who's dyslexic, seeing
To
a
all
word
intents and
that's
purposes, the
apparently
meteor
said like
project
that
had
but
failed,
spelled like
and the
that is just a
Empire was left to
nightmare. It's
rue
like,
its
what?
lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even
It's like
before
bloody
the
pneumonia.
accursed thing was dug up,
When I see that word, I'm like,
seemed to me the 14th had the
phenomena.
might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the calamity
We're just getting a
to undermine the
synopsis.
Legion's
What's happening?
efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in
Every
actual
time I
fact.
hear that
We've
name,
learned that even as Huayu served the
I'm
Empire's
just gonna keep
interests,
saying it to annoy you.
she sold Imperial secrets to a
bubble
certain
of
faction
rage.
in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
7 hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to
God damn
reveal
it.
whose
That
it
name.
is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been
To
detained.
Huayu. It's like they can't even agree how it's supposed to be pronounced.
yep.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word.
I'm sorry,
Those who
but
are
just having
innocent
a
have no
weird
cause
name
to
doesn't
fear.
make your story more compelling.
have
Just
ever been
make
a
it
friend
something
of
that's
truth,
phonetically able to be
I
said.
hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will
Yeah,
not
like
detain
Alphino.
you too long. Though it be for the sake of
Alphino
Eorzea,
isn't too
doubting
bad.
one's comrades is
You know.
poison to the soul.
Because there's Alphen AUD
And with that,
ad.
I take my leave.
You know, Alphen ad. Alphen.
Where's your sister?
I don't know. She just kind of buggered off after
I think the writers forgot about her.
5th or 6th time seeing her, and then she's like, gone.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve.
'Cause she's growing greedy.
I know you can hear me, monitorous scum. Your crimes will not go unpunished.
I like this man so much.
Purge this land of your sickness before the eyes of the 12. I swear it.
Why don't you marry him then?
Because there's no wedding option. Overly dramatic Robin. Rah!
Rah!
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the Empress has a stuffed Moogle.
Oh god. Oh, the
That's
trope.
the
I shall
Sultana.
have no further need of you this day. Your Grace.
Who are you?
Just a lady in waiting.
You're going to die, I think.
I wouldn't say so.
I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain
She's not
private
important
for long.
enough.
Has the situation grown so grim?
What? It's
Whoa,
true.
what? Hey, what? Hi!
Ever since you proposed the
Hello?
Cartiner Reclamation
Does-
Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
Oh, hi!
This bickering is a threat to law and order. Might you not have grounds to dissolve the syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Uldar have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
Wait, Lolorito? Oh, right.
A ruler
okay.
is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved.
Oh shit.
It cannot be helped.
Cannot be helped.
But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve.
As such,
Send
it's
me in! Send in me and Scythia, and they'll all mysteriously burn to death in horrible tragic accidents.
Don't
In
know
the
what you're talking
absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Uldar whole.
Hi.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the immortal flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Uldar's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the immortal flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Uldar.
Fluffy mouse cat. So adorable.
The true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people.
But also,
pro-democracy.
For Uldar to move
She's also
forward,
going to
it is
dissolve
not
the
only
palace.
the syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue.
Try and peacekeep, I guess.
As the last monarch in the line of
Yep.
Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Reborn to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
You know, I can't really blame her. I mean, it's not like she has
Your
any other
Grace,
choice.
Are you certain of this?
Possibly.
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people.
To her people, until those people get rich and take control by bribing people, fixing elections.
Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes even worse, because there's no single powerhead that can go, no!
Meritocracy.
Meritocracies are
Forgive me
nice.
for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name.
Although Rome was a meritocracy,
Beyond
and you
this
talked about
gesture,
Rome was a
I
republic.
am powerless to help my subjects.
A semi-meritocratic republic, but still.
Yeah, I thought it
There's
was
still a place where you can
meritocratic.
bribe your way up.
What
That
is
is
it?
expected.
Oh, dungeon requirement, Bowl of Embers hard, and the naval hard, and Howling Eye hard. What? What? Can I just... Can we... No. Oh. We have to find them. Oh, God. Well! Bugger. Really?
Well...
Really? Ah. Fine. Well, I don't know.
Well, let's end the episode here, and we'll do some research and figure things out.
There's 22 minutes that we're in. Oh, whatever. We'll leave it here, so until next time, all the best, and...
Good night, everybody.
We're probably going to fight them off camera, by the way.
Yeah, we're definitely going to. You've already seen them.